Today we're going to be watching a video called Cost of Living in Germany, Housing, Food, Transport, and More.
Planning to move to Germany, be it because of the affordable education, a job opportunity, or you just can't get enough of those German sausages. Nevertheless, there's a lot to think and research about before making that big step. So here I present to you a video covering all the basic living expenses in the Federal Republic of Germany. If you are the type of person that would like to have a roof above their head, then you should consider your housing situation. In Germany, it really depends on what city you live in. So in Berlin, the capital of Germany, a single bedroom apartment in the city center on average will cost you €1,233.43. Outside the center, €896.56.
Okay, that's quite cheaper than I was expecting.
Then the same apartment in the city center of Munich, which is one of the most expensive German cities, on average will cost you around €1,382.92. Outside the center, €1,042.82. So 10 to 14% difference. But a smaller, less-known city like Dresden, a single bedroom apartment in the city center will be around €550.22, and outside the city, €439.09. So the prices really range from €300 for a shared flat in a more affordable area to €3,000 for a 3-bedroom apartment in an expensive city center. If sadly the Wi-Fi is not included in your rent, on average a single person will be spending about €48 per month on mobile and internet.
I think that's really fair.
It is good to remember the additional relocation costs, such as the deposit, which can climb up to 2 or 3 month cold rent. Kaltmiete. Plus, sooner or later you might get a letter saying you need to pay the radio and cable bills, even though you don't use these services or you don't even speak German. The fee will be around €18.36 a month per household.
What do you need that?
And last but not least, it is important to know that for some reason, unfurnished apartments mean that you most likely will not have a kitchen. Just some pipes and a bucket. If you don't want to hear your stomach growling from days on end, I would recommend going grocery shopping from time to time. Food prices in Germany are generally considered to be quite low, especially compared to those of neighboring countries. It is largely because Germany produces and grows a lot of its own food within its advanced agriculture industry. But like in most countries, the basic costs of living spiked up nonetheless. The main difference in pricing you will find between large cities and small towns. Basic food prices vary according to where you shop, but these prices are the average for Germany. 1 liter of milk, 70 cents. A loaf of bread, €1.30. 12 eggs, €1.82.
That's quite cheap,
we have these hard-boiled colored eggs that are sold year-round.
They're blue.
500 grams of local cheese, €4.45. 1 kilogram of chicken breast, €7.32. 1 kilogram of rice, €2.09.
A
kilo of bananas, €1.63.
Quite expensive, I think, as
1 kilo of potatoes, 97 cents. 1 bottle of mid-range wine, $4.99.
Average, that's right. Okay.
Half a liter of local beer, 76 cents.
Incredibly
1 pack of cigarettes, €6.40.
Super expensive.
I don't smoke, but this one is expensive. 150 to 200 grams of Haribos, €1.05. For a typical shopping experience, you have your Rewe or Nachkauf and Edeka. If you prefer collecting as many steps as possible while shopping, with reasonable prices, I recommend Kaufland. And if you're looking for some more financial stability in your life, budget-friendly supermarkets like Aldi, Lidl, Netto, and Penny are always there for you.
Great.
Plus, don't throw away your plastic or glass bottles, since you unwillingly paid a deposit for them called Pfand. It's usually around 8 to 25 cents per bottle. It might not be much, but it adds up, especially if you're a big fan of Diet Coke. So a single-person household will spend approximately €180 to €200 per month on groceries.
Seems fair.
A couple will spend approximately €369.
That seems a lot, but I'm not doing the math, actually.
Whether you're on a date or after a long day at work, you might want to dine out or do some takeout. A meal at a cheap restaurant for one will be around 11 euros. A mid-range restaurant for two people will add up around 57 euros. A fast food combo will cost you 9.70 euros. But an average price for a Big Mac is 5.89 euros. In restaurants, a tip is generally expected, since waiting tables is among the lowest paying jobs. But if you're not satisfied with the services, it is not necessary to leave a tip at all. In Germany, you tip when you settle your bill with your food server. You will include the Trinkgeld amount during the process. Many people simply round off the bill to the next euro or add a couple more. So 5 to 10% at a restaurant is appreciated, while 15% tip is considered very generous and American. Coffee in one hand and a pastry in the other hand, what can be a better combo? Sitting down in a cafe or bakery can cost you a bit more than taking it away. The average cost of a cup of cappuccino is around 3.50 euros for a medium. A German pastry, on the other hand, can vary from 1.50 to 4.90, depending on where and what you get.
Yeah, what are the expensive
There are many ways to get around town or country other than on foot. Public transport in Germany is a solid B. First and foremost, bikes. They are definitely not as popular as the Netherlands, since the country isn't as flat and sinking. But you do see people on their bikes from time to time with a safety helmet. The infrastructure also differs from city to city.
Would make fun of this.
Nevertheless, sports bikes are their first choice. A single bus, tram, metro, U-Bahn, and S-Bahn trips usually cost between 280 to 350.
That's
depends
expensive,
on the
I think.
You're traveling. Like most countries, you pay bus fares on the bus, otherwise you won't get in. But when it comes to trams and metros, those require an outsider machine that is sometimes confusing to operate. A passenger without a valid ticket can face a fine of 40 to 60 euros.
Oh my god, just pay your ticket.
For long distance travel, to see your long distance friends, we have trains. A single ticket prices range from 5 to 200 euros depending on the distance.
Yeah, like
and
5
it's best to buy the ticket in advance, as early as possible, because the later you book it, the higher the prices will get. Monthly subscriptions also exist, based on your region. It can range from 60 to 200 euros, depending on the city. That includes all kinds of transportation. Or you can get a Bahn card for reduced rates and discounts. However, if you have 4,144 euros to spare, you can buy the ultimate Bahn card 100 for a year's worth of travel anywhere and everywhere, at any time. As a student, you get your regional travel covered by the university, which is very convenient. Nonetheless, it is rumored that next year in January, there will be a universal German monthly travel subscription for 49 euros, which is pretty dope.
That's incredible.
Even though Germans love their cars, owning one is not cheap, especially regarding fuel, insurance, parking, and maintenance. On average, you will be spending at least 520 euros a month with the car not included. So if you have a driver's license, doesn't mean you should use it. But on average, people are spending 214 euros a month on traveling, whether by train or car. If employed, you will spend 14.6% of your gross income on public health insurance. The employer contributes half of it. Therefore, employees pay only 7.8% of their gross income. Nonetheless, on average, a person spends around 67 euros a month on their health. That includes medication and prescription. All other expenses are covered by the health insurance. However, self-employed people and people with salaries above 64,350 euros can opt for a private coverage, which can save you a buck or two. You either hate or love shopping, or maybe it depends on your mood that day. But every now and then you need to buy some new clothes or toilet paper. A dress from Zara can cost you 37 euros on average, and a pair of Nike running shoes mid-range around 82 euros. Plus, if you happen to find a cinema in the shopping mall, expect to pay around 12 or 15 euros. Popcorn not included. I think that's normal as well. If you're looking for something second-hand, maybe even a kitchen for your unfurnished apartment, eBay Kleinanzeigen is a great option for that. The only thing to consider is that you might need to pick up the stuff by yourself. So that driver's license can't really come in handy.
Like you need to rent a car.
The number one online store is Amazon.de, which is not surprising to anyone. Unfortunately, items like board games with English descriptions cost extra and sometimes is really hard to come by. Student life. Being a student in Germany is pretty advantageous. You get free regional transportation, museum and fitness discounts, free bank accounts, tax reductions, and more. Even though some German universities require some amount of tuition fees, the majority of them are free. The only catch is you most likely need to know German. If that's not a problem you're all good. The only university payment you need to take care of as an international student in Germany is a so-called semester contribution, a fixed amount of money you pay for specific university services like travel, administrative assistance, sports facilities, dining halls, and so on.
And is it expensive?
In conclusion, it would be hard to get by for less than 1,000 euros a month in Germany. And this rises to around 1,500 to 2,000 euros in the city where rents are higher. If you're living a student life, 850 euros a month can cover your basic living costs. With the recent minimum wage rise of 12 euros an hour, if you're working 8 hours 5 days a week, that rounds up to 1,344 euros after tax.
Okay, that's good.
That covers your basic costs in a medium or small-sized city. However, earning above minimum wage will get you the opportunity to live in a bigger city or the city center, live on your own, or have a higher standard of living, such as owning a cat or going to a cafe and getting a cup of coffee with oat milk. That always costs extra.
Extra, of course it costs extra, yeah. Okay, this funny video, but also very informative. I think the things that so the thing about the kitchen, like we moved on way too fast from that. It's like, what do I do without a kitchen? Do I have to buy the stuff? Like, do I have to buy an oven and put on the sink? Like, you need counters. What do I do after I move? Do I leave them there? Do I just destroy it? Like, it's money, because I don't really understand the logic, because it's money that I'm sort of investing and putting into like this house, and that's why usually the houses are built. Like, you can't build because you're renting, like it's not your house. You can't just destroy things. Like, you can like do your kitchen again because I don't like the counters. It's like, no, like you can't remodel something because you don't own this place. But it's so weird to me that it's like, no, they just have like a bucket of water and like some pipes, and it's like, well, okay, so what do I do? Like, I kind of get like maybe the fridge, like, but fridges I think usually are included because they're very big, and like I'm not like taking out the fridge after I move, like it's included. It's more like small appliances that are not included, like with rent, because I was like a blender, I don't know, an air fryer, I don't know, like stuff like that. Like, it makes sense, obviously, like they're yours and you take them out when you move. But it's so like strange to me, that concept, because what do you do? Like, you need like some sort of kitchen, stove, maybe not an oven. I know that maybe like the oven's an exaggeration, not all places have ovens, but you need a countertop with like a stove, and you need a sink, obviously. That those are like basic stuff. So again, I'm so confused by that part. It's like, do I have to build it, and do I have to spend my own money into this? And then what happens after I leave? Because it's money that I put in this house, and then I'm just leaving, and what do I do with that money? Like, it's money that I invested. Do the owner do they reimburse you, or do you just like, I don't know, because I'm thinking, well, I'm gonna destroy it, but it's like, well, I'm not doing anything with it because it's just like wasted money, like down the drain. Like, well, maybe I guess the next person can use it because, well, I already spent this money. I'm not taking the kitchen with me, to my new place. So it's very that concept's so random to me, so weird. I do not understand it, and I need further explanation. I think about the prices themselves, I think they're fine. I think it's kind of cheaper than I was expecting, actually, because I don't know. I've never heard of like Germany being like very expensive. No, actually I have heard that Germany is very expensive, but it's like, I think the prices seem normal. I don't know if it's just like the world in general, like it's a worldwide recession and everything, the prices have gone up. So I don't think it's that like out of the question. Like I think it's just like, okay, well, I guess like the eggs I think seem like incredibly cheap. Also, I think I'm so confused about the eggs of different colors. They had like blue eggs, green eggs, and it's like I wait, but they're like normal eggs. I've never seen this in my life. Never heard of it. Are there real eggs? You know, that they came from a chicken, and you just eat it, and they're just normal. Is the yolk, is it like affected? Is the yolk green or blue? I'm confused a little. And she said like you have them all year round, so it is something that apparently it's normal in Germany, but. Again, I have no idea. Or maybe they're chocolate eggs. I think they're eggs, right? They're normal eggs that you would use to like make an omelet or something. It's not a sweet egg as in like Easter when you get like chocolate cover eggs and they're like eggs, but they're chocolate. I think, but I'm very confused. I think she moved on way too fast from this. I was like, hold on, wait a minute. Please explain yourself. And also, I think that the one thing that I do think it's quite expensive are two things, like transportation. I think those, because the median in rent and the median in like in housing and in food, I think they're it's I think they're fine, and utilities as well. However, like the internet, but the thing that really did, I think, shock me, because I really did thought that it was quite expensive, is the car situation. She was like, well, I think maybe they're like 500 euros. I don't know how much that's in dollars, maybe like $600. But it's like, well, that includes like the car payment, hopefully, because it's $600 like, or 500 euros a month. That seems incredibly expensive to me. And I don't know if it's because like it's a new car and obviously like you're paying it, and obviously you're going to be paying it for a while, maybe like a couple of years, or is it just an insurance and gas? I don't know the how much is gas there, but I know it's probably like a little more expensive, I think. It's gotta be, because even like 500, I have no idea, but like it's really expensive. And also not just, the actual, like the car itself, the transportation, I also thought it was quite like, it's on the expensive side, especially like one-way ticket. It's just like, it's three and a half, like 3.5 euros, which I think is also just for one-way ticket. I think that's way too expensive. Like imagine just like going, it's like almost 10 euros in just like imagine you're going to work. So it's just like going to work and coming home. It's just 10 euros. Like that's incredibly expensive. But maybe that's why you would have like the passes, the monthly passes, and it's cheaper. Hopefully it is. I don't know. I haven't done the math, but yeah, I think. But so I'm wondering how many people actually do buy, the one-way ticket, because even as a tourist, I think it makes sense for you to just like spend more money into something that, I don't know, buy the 60 euro pass or something. I think it's going to be like cheaper for you even as a tourist, because you'll be able to move around. And also very funny, like in the train, like they'll I think, well, in the bus, obviously, like if you don't pay your ticket, of course, like you're not gonna get into this bus. But it's like the tickets for the trains, like you would buy beforehand, because I think I would also be scared of like, no, like so many people on this train, I'm gonna lose it. So you do have to, you have to buy your ticket beforehand. But it's funny that she was like, you really do have to pay. It's like, I don't know, like they don't check if you have a ticket, because they apparently, like if they get you like, hey, you don't have a ticket, like you'll get fined. And obviously it's probably gonna be more expensive than if you just like bought the ticket like you should. So it's like, well, and also, do they check like in the middle of the road? And if you haven't, like, no, I'm sorry, I don't have a ticket, do they just kick you out in the middle of nowhere? It's like, no, this isn't my stop. It's like, well, you didn't pay, so get out of here. So you're just like stranded in the middle of nowhere, like, oh no, I should have paid my ticket. I'm wondering if that's a thing, or like, no, that's just like, it's a fantasy, it doesn't really happen. But and also I think the coffee, a normal cappuccino, 3.5 euros. I also think that's a little bit more expensive, I think. Maybe that's just like the average cost these days, but I think it's expensive. I don't know. I think that you can maybe get it cheaper, although I know this is like, it's average. But I think it's kind of a little expensive. And like she said, obviously if you want some other milk that is not cow's milk, like if you want oat milk or soy milk or or almond milk, some other milk that is not dairy, of course it's going to cost you extra. I think most places have like, it's $1 extra for non-dairy milk. So it's like, that's a worldwide thing. Like if you're not into dairy, like you're gonna have to like put out the bucks, and you have to like take out your wallet. But yeah, this was low-key funny video, but also I feel like I learned a lot, and I would love to know more about the egg situation. But that was it for today, and I'll see you next time. Bye.